What's up, YouTube? Timu's here. Now, I gotta say, one streaming service that put out some really decent films and even shows or program in general this year has, of course, been Hulu. I mean, Netflix. I still always prefer Netflix, but Hulu has put out some really solid stuff. Whether there'll be some films, whether there'll be TV, etc. So, with that being said, here are my top 10 favorite Hulu originals of the year. I'm going to combine it to both movies and TV. So take that with that out because Hulu didn't put out as much movies this year for me to do a best film list. So with that being said, here's my top 10 favorite Hulu originals of 2021. All right. Coming in at number 10 is actually a documentary that really not many people really sing, which is a little disappointing to read. And that is this documentary simply titled Kidnapping. Now, Kid 90 is actually directed by Punky Brewster herself, Sully Moon Fry, and it's pretty much like where Hollywood stars who grew up in the '90s take a walk down memory lane with photos, diary entries, and footage that were all recorded by a teenage Sully Moon Fry. This is a like granted, I was born in '92, okay, so I didn't really have too much memories of the '90s or anything like that. But the '90s always seemed like a really fun time. We get really cool interviews by the likes of Mark Paul Glosser, uh, Brian Austin Green, Stephen Dorff, David Arquette, etc. I mean, I thought this documentary was put together really well. It was so cool seeing footage of stuff that happened in the '90s and all. And I just Sully Moon Fry. Of course, sadly, Punky Brewster got canceled, which I think still disappointing. I thought she did a really good job directing this, and her just taking that memory lane. It shows that they do really still miss the '90s and stuff like that. And Kid 90 is a really intriguing documentary worth checking out. All right, coming in at number 9 is pretty much another. It's actually another documentary, and that is of course Summer of Soul. Summer of Soul premiered all the way back in July in both theaters and Hulu, and it's pretty much that talks about. It's pretty much a documentary that's directed by Questlove that talks about the 6 weeks during the summer 1969, where thousands of people attend the Harlem Culture Festival to celebrate history, culture, music, fashion. You even get to see performances by Nina Simone, Stevie Wonder, etc. I thought this was an excellent documentary. It made you feel like you were in the '60s now. Uh, Granted, '60s was way ahead of my time, but man, the footage in this thing was a train. The music, I really listen to too much '60s music, but the '60s music is much better than Harry Tension's Bang. Of course, you got Patton Oswalt who voices the character of Modoc. The animation and humor is a train. It's pretty cool hearing John Hamm as Iron Man. Got some other train cast members in there from Amy Garcia to Melissa Fermario to Wendy McCullough, Bill Hader, Ben Schwartz. You had some really cool cast members. It is funny. It's entertaining. Still a little surprised we haven't heard any news about a second season, but we'll see if a second season does happen. All right, 7. I'm gonna go with American Horror Stories. Now, of course, this is like a spin-off, if you will, of American Horror Story. And to be honest, I might actually prefer this over American Horror Story. I thought the some of the storylines here were intriguing. My favorite is probably the Christmas storyline. I thought that was interesting. You also get some really cool cast members who popped up here and there. I mean, you actually got the likes of actually even got the likes of Paris Jackson. You actually had who else appeared in this one? I'm trying to remember who else. The one from the one who played Stephanie's brother on Fuller House. He also popped up in this. You also had Miley Cyrus' sister, Noah Cyrus, popped up. You had some really cool cast members who came here and there. The storylines is intriguing. It is really bloodier than you expect from the American Horror Story franchise. And I'm glad that they did renew for a second season. Cannot wait to see the storylines in the second season. So that should be interesting to watch. All right. Number six, I'm going to go with Only Murders in the Building. Now, this is a really intriguing series, which is, of course, a murder mystery comedy starring the likes of Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. And all three of them had some really decent chemistry. Who would ever expect that Disney star like Selena Gomez will have great chemistry with two comedy legends like Steve Martin and Martin Short? They all worked out perfectly together. You also had Nathan Lane. You even had Sting popping up. Amy Ryan was in this. I thought it was a really well put together show. Had lots of twists and turns. This show will leave you guessing on each season. I thought it was an intriguing series, and it's worth checking out. And of course, there is a second season coming out too, so keep an eye out for that. All right, number five is of course the United States versus Billie Holiday. Now, this movie I thought was a really intriguing film into the life of Billie Holiday. You got Trevante Rose, I thought was terrific. Andre Day did such a great job at playing this iconic singer. Lee Daniels was great. You also had Leslie Jordan, James Williams, Melvin Gray. List goes on and on. It's a really solid cast. If you guys don't know much about the story, it's where the Federal Bureau of Narcotics pretty much launches an uncover sting operation against jazz singer Billie Holiday. And we've seen actors who play Billie Holiday before, like Diana Ross played the role once. But Andre really embodied this character perfectly. She sang perfectly like the character. I know it was an excellent little film. So if you guys have not seen it, it's on Hulu. Give it a go. All right, number four is of course Reservation Dogs. This show is so hilarious. I mean, definitely it's pure funness. Some of the humor is very trippy, but the humor works out perfectly. All the cast has great chemistry with one another. I never heard these young actors beforehand, but I really want to see them in stuff because they are really actors here. Taika Waititi, what he was able to do with the series was the train. It's so fun, it's entertaining, and I can't wait for season two. All right, number three, I'm gonna go with a comedy feature, and that is Vacation Friends. Vacation Friends is so funny, starring the likes of, of course, starring the likes of Lil Rel Howery, John Cena, Meredith Hagner, Yvonne Audrey. This, of course, is where Lil Rel Howery and Yvonne Audrey's character, who spends this a week without, you know, without any inhibitions and all. And they end up meeting these, new friends on vacation, but they are horrified when they actually show up uninvited to their wedding, and crazy chaos ensues. I mean, this movie is so raunchy. It's very fun. The chemistry between Johnson and Lil Howery worked out perfectly. Of course, there is a sequel in the works as well, so it's gonna be interesting to see where the sequel's gonna go here. I mean, the movie is literally from the same director who gave us the first Angry Birds, so that's of course saying much. Yeah, I know this movie was really excellent and really fun. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely give it a go. All right. Number two, I'm going to go with Plan B. Now, Plan B is another Hulu original comedy, and I thought this movie was hilarious. I mean, it's literally about two high school friends who are literally going out of their way to find a Plan B pill. That's what the whole story is about, and it works out perfectly. It's so funny. The two leads I thought was perfect here. Natalie Morris, of course, from Parks and Rec fame, did such a great job directing. I mean, I of course got a bit of a book stump vibe from here, but it was really fun, really entertaining. So if you guys have not really seen Plan B, it's on Hulu. Definitely give that one a go. And of course, my number one favorite Hulu original of the year goes to the Hulu series Nine Perfect Strangers. I mean, of course, it is based on a novel by Alian Marathi, and who of course wrote the book for Big Little Lies, which also got turned into a series. This of course stars a great cast that includes the likes of Nicole Kidman, Melissa McCarthy. You had Luke Evans. You had who else was in this? Melvin Gregg was in this. You had Michael Shannon. Sorry about that. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's a really intriguing cast, and it pretty much takes place at this Ben Creek Health and Wellness Resort that promises healing and transformation, where like these nine stress sea dwellers try to get on a path to a better way of living. And so, like watching over them during this 10-day retreat is the resort's director Masha, played by Nicole Kidman, who's like this woman who are on a mission to reiterate their tired minds, their bodies, and all. And lots of them all have like intriguing storylines here. It is really well put together. The script is great, great cast. I thought this show was really intriguing. It was very trippy, yes, but I thought it was excellent to watch. So if you haven't watched Nine Perfect Strangers, it's on Hulu. Definitely give this one a go. But that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10 Kid 90, 9 Summer So, 8 Modoc, 7 American Horror Stories, 6 Only Murders in the Building, 5 The United States versus Billie Holiday, 4 Reservation Dogs, 3 Vacation Friends, 2 Plan B, and number 1 is 9 Perfect Strangers. Now, there's loads of other ones I probably could have added too. Let me pull some other lists. All right, I tried watching One Last Man. That was actually pretty disappointing, to be honest. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. The premise was actually pretty fun. Uh, Don't Sick was actually not so bad. I thought that was an okay show. Of course, returning shows like Pen 15 was pretty decent. Soul Opposites was pretty fun. Let's see what else we got here. Most people probably say the Great Season 2, but I rarely watch that series, to be honest with you. But there's some other intriguing ones that premiered this year. But let me let you guys. What were some of your favorite Hulu originals of 2021? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Zimmer signing out.